This week we're discussing ransomware fortunes, cryptocurrency disasters, and the SolarWinds hack. Welcome to the Hut6 InfoSec Roundup. Hello and welcome, my name is Alex James, and this is the Hut6 InfoSec Roundup, where we take a look at some of the most pressing matters, latest trends and industry news from across the world of information security. First up this week, UN staff records exposed. Security researchers have disclosed a vulnerability in United Nations systems which saw over 100,000 employee records exposed. Discovered by security research group Sakura Samurai, the records related to, amongst other projects, the United Nations Environmental Programme, and contained extensive personally identifiable information including names, ID numbers, gender, pay grade, records of travel, and evaluation reports. Stemming from exposed Git directories and credentials, the flaw was found as part of the United Nations Vulnerability Disclosure Programme, in which the intragovernmental organisation encourages researchers to find and disclose security flaws in the UN's publicly accessible systems. Though the issue was quickly addressed, the United Nations is a frequent target for hackers, with hundreds of gigabytes of internal UN data being exfiltrated in a 2019 hack. Speaking to their research, a representative of Sakura Samurai explained, quote, "When we started researching the UN, we didn't think it would escalate so quickly. Within hours, we already had sensitive data and had identified vulnerabilities. Overall, in less than 24 hours, we obtained all of this data." Ransomware cartel amasses $150 million. According to research studying the flow of illicit Bitcoin earnings, operators of the Ryuk strain of ransomware have profited to the tune of over $150 million. Responsible for many high-profile attacks, such as last year's SolarWinds Hack and that against Baltimore County School District, Ryuk was first observed in 2018 and represents a significant international information security threat. Often not observed until a period of time after the initial infection, ranging from days to months, the operators will often gather extensive intelligence upon a target to help leverage ransom negotiations. Based on the analysis of 61 Bitcoin addresses, researchers have reported that the ransomware gang has funneled their ill-gotten gains via two Asia-based exchanges, Huobi and Binance, which according to researchers are structured in a way that probably won't oblige them to comply with international finance laws. The researchers further noted, quote, "With the limited visibility available to analysts, it's painfully clear that the criminals behind Ryuk are very businesslike and have zero sympathy for the status, purpose, or ability of the victims to pay." Crypto wallet disaster. We've all been in that awkward position of having forgotten a password, but for programmer Stefan Thomas, his forgetfulness may have cost him around $240 million. Mr. Thomas, a German programmer living in San Francisco, was over a decade ago paid 7,002 bitcoins as payment for making a video explaining how cryptocurrency works. Storing his earnings in an iron key digital wallet, Mr. Thomas reportedly wrote down his password on a piece of paper. Skipping forward several years, Bitcoin's value has grown exponentially, and those 7,000 are now worth $240 million. Unfortunately, Mr. Thomas has forgotten his password and lost his note, and crucially, after 10 failed password attempts, the wallet becomes completely inaccessible. Having already made 8 failed attempts, Mr. Thomas is almost out of options, with some security professionals reaching out online to offer their assistance. The unfortunate programmer is not the first to have been locked out of their fortune. It is estimated that around a mind-boggling $140 billion worth of Bitcoin is lost or left in inaccessible wallets. A particularly visceral example of the importance of proper password security and practices, Mr. Thomas told the New York Times, quote, "I would just lay in bed and think about it. Then I would go to the computer with some new strategy," adding, "I got to a point where I said to myself, let it be in the past, just for your own mental health." Microsoft President condemns SolarWinds Hack. Microsoft President Brad Smith has, at the CES Technology Trade Show, referred to the SolarWinds hack as a mass indiscriminate global assault that should act as a wake-up call to security professionals. The SolarWinds network monitoring software was attacked sometime last year, being altered to provide hackers with a backdoor into the systems of its users, a compromise that was disclosed by the company in December. The hack, which distributed roughly 18,000 packages of malware onto organizations' networks, is believed to have originated from the Russian state and compromised accounts at the US Department of Justice, as well as many other government agencies across the world. As one of the many organizations affected, Microsoft's Brad Smith noted in his speech, quote, "Governments have spied on each other for centuries, but we've long lived in a world where there were norms and rules that created expectations about what was appropriate and what was not, and what happened with SolarWinds was not." That's all we have for this week. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe and share, and if you're interested in finding out more about information security awareness training, please head over to the Hut6 website for your free demo.